In 1964, a peculiar family moved onto the small screen and forever changed the concept of the television family. They weren't normal. They were macabre. They were eccentric, and they were utterly lovable. The show. The Addams Family premiered and created a cultural sensation with its story of a wealthy clan that delighted in the ghoulish things that normal people feared. The work was not only a resounding commercial success, but also became an unforgettable part of an entire generation's memory. They taught us that being different could also be a wonderful thing. But behind those classic characters are actors with their own very separate fates. 6 decades have passed and time has etched different marks on their lives. Some continued to shine brightly, some chose a quieter path, and there were also those who had to stop their journey in tragedy. Let us look back at the tumultuous journey of the cast that brought the soul to the Addams Family. John Astin as Gomez Addams. In the Addams Family, the character of Gomez Addams was the vibrant heart and soul of the clan, with his mischievous grin, signature mustache, and a passionate love for his wife Morticia Gomez left an indelible impression. He was an eccentric father, a brilliant though often loss-making investor, and a skilled fencer. John Astin's performance at the time, at age 34, brilliantly portrayed a man with a wild zest for life, who found joy in the smallest things, from blowing up his toy trains to speaking French to his wife. After the success of the Addams Family, John Astin's career continued on a diverse and durable journey. Although the role of Gomez cast a large shadow, he did not let himself be typecast. He took part in many different film genres, from the Western comedy, Evil, Roy Slade, 1972, to the Disney comedy Freaky, Friday, 1976. He proved his versatile acting abilities, but his love for the Addams Family never faded. Years later, he returned to this world voicing Gomez in the 1992 animated series, and then in a delightful twist playing Grandpa Addams in the new Addams Family series in 1998. In his personal life, he found another passion besides acting teaching. He became a visiting professor at his alma mater, Johns Hopkins University, passing on his love for the theater to a younger generation. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and his life. It seems the role of Gomez Addams strangely mirrored his own life. While on screen the character was a man of endless passion and a youthful spirit, in real life, John Astin is also such a person. He never stopped working, never stopped exploring new roles, from actor to director to teacher. The enthusiasm of Gomez seems to have become his own life philosophy. Today, at the age of 95, John Astin is retired but remains a living legend. His journey is a testament to an unceasing love for art and to keep the flame of passion burning brightly for decades. He continues to inspire future generations with his own enthusiastic life. Carolyn Jones as Morticia Addams. In the Addams Family, the character of Morticia Addams was the elegant and mysterious soul of the clan. With her graceful figure in a tight black gown, long, silky hair, and a bewitching calm, Morticia left an indelible impression. She was a devoted wife and mother who cultivated poisonous plants and cut the buds off her roses. Carolyn Jones's performance at the time, at age 34, brilliantly portrayed a woman who was both seductive and fearsome, a Gothic icon who has stood the test of time. She created a unique feminist role model, a strong woman who ruled her household in her own very special way. Before becoming Morticia, Carolyn Jones was already a talented actress with a rising career. She had received an Academy Award nomination for an 8-minute supporting role in The Bachelor Party, 1957, and starred opposite Elvis Presley in King Creole, 1958. After the Addams Family ended, she faced a great challenge being typecast, as Morticia roles did not come as frequently as before. However, she was a fighter. She returned to Hollywood, appearing in popular series like Wonder Woman and Roots. Her personal life also had its ups and downs, notably her marriage to and divorce from the legendary producer Aaron Spelling. She was the one who encouraged him to become a writer, helping to create a television empire. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and her life. It seems the role of Morticia was a complete opposite of her fate. While on screen, the character lived a timeless life of wealth and happiness. In real life, Carolyn Jones endured a difficult childhood with severe asthma career struggles and a life-or-death battle with illness. She was a strong person, always striving to overcome the storms, a resilience hidden behind a delicate appearance. However, that journey full of effort and talent had to come to an abrupt end. She bravely fought colon cancer, even continuing to act from a wheelchair. In her final days on August 3, 1983, Carolyn Jones passed away at the age of 53. Her passing left a great void. The legacy she left behind is not just the immortal role of Morticia, but the life story of a woman who gave joy to the world just as she wished to be inscribed on her gravestone. Jackie Coogan as Uncle Fester. In the Addams Family, the character of Uncle Fester was a memorable antagonist in his own way. With his bald head, sunken eyes, and the ability to light up a light bulb in his mouth, Fester left an indelible impression. He was the embodiment of chaos and mischievous pranks. Jackie Coogan's performance at the time, at age 50, brilliantly portrayed a character who was both bizarre and lovable, a giant child in the family. But the story of Jackie Coogan's life was more dramatic than any role. He was once the first and biggest child star in Hollywood history, discovered by Charlie Chaplin himself. He became a global phenomenon with his role in the silent classic The Kid, 1921. He earned millions of dollars as a child. However, tragedy struck. When he came of age and wanted to claim the money he had earned, he discovered his mother and stepfather had squandered nearly the entire fortune. His lawsuit caused a public uproar and led to the passage of the Coogan Act, a landmark law in California to protect the earnings of child actors, a legacy that endures to this day. After World War II, his career stalled and he had to take supporting roles, often as villains. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and his life. It seems the role of Uncle Fester was a miraculous rebirth for his career. After many difficult years, this role brought him back into the public eye, once again making him a cultural icon. While on screen, the character was an eccentric in real life. Jackie Coogan was a man who had experienced the bitterest tragedies of the spotlight. He was a survivor, a symbol of both the glory and the tragedy of Hollywood. However, that tumultuous journey had to come to an end. After a phenomenal life, from the heights of fame to the abyss of betrayal, and then finding glory once again on March 1st, 1984, Jackie Coogan passed away at the age of 69 from a heart attack. His passing left a great void. The legacy he left behind is not just Uncle Fester or the boy from The Kid, but a law that bears his name, an eternal reminder of the dark side of fame. Lisa Loring as Wednesday Addams. In the Addams Family, the character of Wednesday Addams was the family's adorable but gloomy little daughter. With her love for spiders and headless dolls, Wednesday left an indelible impression. The performance of little Lisa Loring, then only 6 years old, authentically portrayed a child who was sweet but eccentric, creating the first and most classic version of Wednesday. After the Addams Family ended, Lisa Loring's life was one of immense turmoil. Fame at such a young age brought many challenges. She married for the first time at just 15 and soon became a mother. Her life was filled with tragic events. Her mother died of alcoholism, her marriages fell apart, and she fought a grim battle with drug addiction. She had to face horrific personal tragedies, including being the first person to discover the body of a close friend who had committed suicide. It was a harrowing journey, a far cry from her on-screen innocence. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and her life. It seems the role of Wednesday Addams was a complete opposite of her fate. While on screen, the character lived in a wealthy and protective family. In real life, Lisa Loring had to fight life's real demons on her own from a very young age. Her life is a tragic story about the dark side of being a child star. However, that stormy journey had to come to an end. Although she made efforts to get clean and return to a normal life, The wounds of the past remained. On January 28, 2023, Lisa Loring passed away at the age of 64 from complications of a stroke. Her passing left a great void, the qui-saint. Legacy she left behind is not just the original Wednesday, but a tragic life story, a cautionary tale about the price of early fame. Felix Silla as Cousin It. In the Addams Family, the character of Cousin It was one of the most mysterious and hilarious characters, completely covered in long hair from head to toe and speaking in an incomprehensible high-pitched gibberish. Cousin It left an indelible impression. The man who brought this unique character to life was Felix Silla. Before coming to Hollywood, Felix Silla was a talented circus performer from Italy. With his small stature, he became a sought-after stuntman and character actor, often doubling for children in major films. Besides Cousin It, he had another iconic role as Twiki the Robot in the science fiction series Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. He was a versatile artist who brought life to characters who didn't even need a face. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and his life. It seems the role of Cousin It reflected his unique career while on screen. The character was a mysterious, faceless being in real life. Felix Silla was a quiet artist whom audiences might not recognize by face, but whose characters were incredibly familiar. He was one of Hollywood's unsung heroes. However, that talented and unique journey had to come to an end after a battle with pancreatic cancer on April 16, 2021. Felix Silla passed away at the age of 84. His passing left a great void. The legacy he left behind is not just Cousin It or Twiki, but the life story of a man who proved that talent can shine even when it is hidden from view. Ted Cassidy as Lurch. In the Addams Family, the character of Lurch was the giant, laconic butler. At over 6 feet 9 inches tall, with a voice as deep as thunder and the classic catchphrase, "You rang," Lurch left an indelible impression. He was the embodiment of silent strength and absolute loyalty. At Cassidy's performance at the time, at age 32, brilliantly portrayed a character who was both fearsome and endearing, though. A man of few words, a single furrow of his brow or a low growl was enough to generate laughter. After the success of the Addams Family, Ted Cassidy's career continued to grow thanks to his unique stature and voice. His deep baritone was used in countless cartoons and television shows. He was the voice of characters like the Thing in Fantastic Four, and even the roar of the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk series. He also appeared in many other roles, often as large, powerful characters. He was a hard-working actor respected by his colleagues. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and his life. It seems the role of Lurch strangely mirrored his life while on screen. The character was a man of few words, but had a powerful presence in real life. Ted Cassidy's voice became a major part of his legacy. He used that deep, resonant voice to bring life to so many characters, a quiet but influential career, much like Lurch himself. However, that promising journey had to come to an abrupt end. On January 16, 1979. Ted Cassidy passed away at the age of 46 from complications following heart surgery. His death at such a young age left a great void. The legacy he left behind is not just the immortal butler, Lurch, but a voice that became part of many generations' childhoods, a reminder of the gentle giant who left us far too soon. Ken Weatherwax as Pugsley Addams. In the Addams Family, the character of Pugsley Addams was the good-natured older son, often the victim of his sister Wednesday's experiments with his kind and somewhat naive personality. Pugsley left the impression of a boy always willing to join in on any of the family's mischief. The performance of young Ken Weatherwax, then 9 years old, lovably portrayed an indispensable member of this bizarre family. After the Addams Family ended, like many child stars, Ken Weatherwax found it difficult to find other roles. He was bullied at school for his role as Pugsley and struggled to escape the character's shadow. He joined the army at a young age and later worked behind the camera as a film set builder and grip. He chose a quiet life away from the spotlight that had brought him both fame and trouble. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and his life. It seems the role of Pugsley Addams shaped his life in an unwanted way. While on screen, the character was part of a close-knit family in real life. The role made him feel isolated. He had to spend his entire life trying to live a normal life after having once been a familiar face to the entire world. However, that tumultuous journey had to come to an end. On December 7, 2014, Ken Weatherwax passed away at the age of 59 from a heart attack. His passing left a great void. The legacy he left behind is not just the boy Pugsley, but a life story about the difficulties a child star faces after the spotlight fades. Margaret Hamilton as Grandmama Frump. In the Addams Family, Margaret Hamilton appeared as a guest star in the role of Grandmama Frump, Morticia's mother. She was a talented witch who passed on her magical skills to her daughter. Although she only appeared in a few episodes, her presence left a powerful mark. But the biggest and most iconic role of Margaret Hamilton's life came from a completely different world. She was the Wicked Witch of the West in the classic film The Wizard of Oz, 1939. With her green skin, pointed hat, and terrifying cackle, she created one of the greatest villains of all time, a character who has haunted the dreams of generations of children. Before becoming an actress, she was a kindergarten teacher. An interesting contrast to her most frightening role. She was always worried that this role would scare children and often explained that it was only acting. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and her life. It seems the role of the Wicked Witch was a complete opposite of her true self. While on screen, the character was the embodiment of evil in real life. Margaret Hamilton was a gentle, kind woman who adored children. She lived a quiet life dedicated to her art and community activities. However, that journey, full of talent and interesting contrasts, had to come to an end. On May 16, 1985, Margaret Hamilton passed away at the age of 82 from a heart attack. Her passing left a great void. The legacy she left behind is not just her roles, but the life story of a gentle woman who created an immortal villain, a testament to the transformative power of the art of acting. Marie Blake as Grandmama Addams. In the Addams Family, the character of Grandmama Addams was a true witch. She was the one who brewed potions, cast spells, and always brought unexpected surprises to the family. The performance of Marie Blake, stage name Blossom Rock, then 69 years old, brilliantly portrayed a grandmother who was both bizarre and lovable, always encouraging her grandchildren's mischievous antics. Before becoming Grandmama Addams, Marie Blake had a long career in entertainment. She came from a theatrical family. Her sister was the famous actress and singer Jeanette MacDonald. She began her career on the vaudeville stage, then moved into film and television. She had a recurring role in the MGM film series Dr. Kildare. She was a professional actress who dedicated her entire life to her craft. The most thought-provoking thing is the connection between the role and her life. It seems the role of Grandmama Addams was a late but brilliant peak in her career. After many years of playing supporting roles, this part made her a familiar face around the world, at an age when many have retired. While on screen, the character was an elderly woman full of energy in real life. Marie Blake also worked tirelessly until the end of her life. However, that dedicated journey had to come to an end. After retiring, she lived at the Motion Picture Television Country House and Hospital on January 14, 1978. Marie Blake passed away at the age of 82 from natural causes. Her passing left a great void. The legacy she left behind is not just the role of the witchy grandmother, but a life story of perseverance and a love for art that never faded.